bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
The first play in the drive there is incomplete. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and that'll make a 3rd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Earl Thomas has the speed, quickness, and skills to be a cornerback in the NFL, and I think he would have been a good one. But playing in the middle of this field as a free safety, I think he's the best eraser in the NFL. Takes care of any mistakes that happen in front of him and hardly ever lets anything get over his head.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Strong left, strong left.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. Someone jumped.
Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. First carry for James Conner. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Here we go. Blue 30.
Hey, watch the slant. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Right back to Conner here on first. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch the curl.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger able to hit his tight end, Grimble. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Complete to Washington. And inside the 20 before it's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
I'm here all day.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
So don't say nothing.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, you're on an island.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Lamar Jackson bringing out the Baltimore Ravens. It's not official until February 1st, that MVP award, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, Charles. No one was more valuable to his team this year than Lamar Jackson. Can we agree on that?
I think that we can. I think the closest was Russell Wilson, because I think without Russell Wilson, Seattle really falls off the pace. But because Lamar Jackson led a team with 14 wins, I think that deserves that title. That's for sure. He did lead the team and, led the league in touchdown passes with 36. Remember his comment at the beginning of the year? Not bad for a running back, huh? He's never forgotten the slights as he came into the league, but he also continues to use his legs. The most rushing yards in a single season by a quarterback, 1,206. This guy is dynamic.
Also the offensive MVP of the Pro Bowl as well, something else to add to his mantle. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ravens nothing.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They run from the pistol with Ingram, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. On 2nd down, Ingram. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 45 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play. There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit. It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Next drive coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure what was going on this past season in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, but you think about the Eagles and these Steelers and the injury bug that bit both of them, it's really hard to fathom. If it's germane to the Steelers, though, the dreadful start really began with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger, lost for the year after 2 weeks, and things, although they obviously picked things up later in the year, Charles, started to go south right there.
I think their head coach, Mike Tomlin, not going to win head coach of the year, but to me deserves great consideration because 1-4 start, then they won 8 out of 10, and no Ben Roethlisberger quarterback. In fact, they went through, as we would count it, essentially 4 quarterbacks this year when you count Joshua Dobbs in the preseason before he was traded to Jacksonville. You end up with an undrafted rookie, Devlin Hodges out of Sanford, the Duck guy, Duck Dynasty himself. But this team, 30th in total offense. They've got a lot of work to do next year, but if they get Roethlisberger back, get a healthy James Conner back, they'll be right back in the hunt for the AFC North title.
So even though Pittsburgh's had a lot of great playoff years under Mike Tomlin, you think maybe this was his most impressive coaching job?
To me, this team could have collapsed and just gone totally south with the 1-4 start and all the injuries that we were noting. They didn't do that. They continued to press and were actually in the hunt, in the thick of the playoff race until a loss to Buffalo at home. I believe it was on a Sunday or a Monday night, and that pretty much knocked them out of it.
And remember, they lost their first-round pick. They gave that away in the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, which some people questioned at the time. Turned out okay for him this year.
Turned out better than okay, and while they didn't make the playoffs, Minkah Fitzpatrick became an all-pro player. Finding his role in Pittsburgh, he'll be able to be at that level for many years to come for the Steelers.
They'll run on first down. Connor, and across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go. Black 20.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
That's the way.
Here's Roethlisberger. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Roethlisberger. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Roethlisberger now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he floated one out there incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Ben to throw again. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Baltimore coming back out here on offense. And Charles, unfortunately for the Ravens this year, it just feels like a failure. Yes, the 14 wins in the regular season, but that divisional round loss to Tennessee, such a shocker, really stunned everybody in the NFL.
It certainly did, and I know exactly what you're saying when you say it feels like a failure, yet you don't want to say it, do you?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it just feels wrong to say that, but let's face it, the bottom line is getting to the ultimate prize. And when you're 14-2 in the regular season, you're the #1 seed in the AFC, and you lose at home in your first playoff game, it will feel like a failure, and hopefully that'll motivate them going forward. But I think part of it is they didn't need to play Week 17, and they pulled a lot of starters. So now that week is gone where you don't play. You get the open week, right? You end up getting essentially 2 more. It's too long for them sitting, and I think it hurt their timing and maybe their edge.
But tell me if you agree, I think it's safe to say that Lamar Jackson and company will be back and strong next year.
It'd be a surprise if they are not, because don't forget he couples it with a pretty darn good defense too.
Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game.
That's caught inside the 20. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away from me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And Jackson throwing once more. Roberts got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Jackson Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Right there.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Second and goal from the 1.
Hey, defense, let's go.
To throw is Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead. In the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Tucker now for the extra point.
For the extra point.
And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6.
Makes the score, Ravens 14.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Let's go now. Hey, hold on. Hey, eat. I know you ain't got it.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly. But 3rd down, throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Trying to get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch left. He's tied right there.
Ben leaves to counter on the draw. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Roethlisberger will throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Yeah, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run.
A quick throw complete to Washington. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
He's not going to get me.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
23 yards. Complete to James Washington. 1st and goal on the 5-yard line.
First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Now Roethlisberger. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Here as he's taken down. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. It felt like he was in the pocket all day, never got rid of it.
And when you have that much time, you've got to either find someone open or get rid of it because with that amount of time to throw the ball, that means the offensive line's done a really nice job.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. And I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Now here come the Ravens. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They run. It's Mark Ingram. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Jackson on 1st down. Snead's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
First down.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, it's Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go again. Here we go.
This is Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He'll buy some time right. He'll try and run it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but It's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's third down.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.